Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how you can connect to your Twitch chat or really anybody's Twitch chat in Unity. So I've got this basic setup here so far. I've got a few input fields for username, OAuth token, and channel. We'll get to those in a bit. And then just a title for whatever streamer's chat you're connected to, and then somewhere to put the chat once we connect using our connect button. But other than that, I don't have anything else set up, so that's what we will be doing today. And also the reason I'm doing this is because I recently started getting back into streaming on Twitch again. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to create a scripts folder. Stay organized. And then inside the scripts folder, I'm going to make a new script. And let's call it Twitch chat. Let's open that up in Visual Studio. And the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the start method here. We won't be using it in this. And then we're also going to be needing to use a few things here. So first one is going to be system.net.sockets to connect to the Twitch client. We're also going to need to use system.io so we can send and read information from the Twitch client. And we're also going to be using Unity engine.ui so that we can access the UI components that I already have in the scene. Now I'm going to set up a few variables we're going to be using. I'll get my UI set up first. So there was 3 input fields there, so we'll make them serialized fields. And then we'll do private input field, and we had one for our username, so we'll call it user field. We had one for our OAuth token, so we'll just call that pass field. And we had one for our channel, so we'll call that channel field. We also had 2 text objects that I will want to be updating, so we'll get those set up too. Again, serialized field, private, and then text this time. And one was just the title, so we'll just call it title text. And the other one was for our chat, so we'll call it chat text. And then so we can connect to the Twitch client, we'll need a TCP client set up, so we'll do a private TCP client, and let's call it Twitch client. And then we'll need a reader. We'll make a private stream reader and call it just reader so that we can read information from Twitch. And then we'll also need a stream writer. Call it writer so that we can send information back to Twitch. And then underneath the update method here, I'm going to make a new method. Let's call it chat connect. And it's going to be public because we'll be attaching it to our button that we already have set up in the scene. And the first thing I'm going to do in here is get whatever information is currently in the input fields. That will be the information that we send to Twitch, so I'll make a new string here. And let's call it username. And we'll just make it equal to user field dot text. Then I'm just going to do a couple copies here and make sure you change the proper variables here. So this one will be password. And this will come from passfield.text, and then the last one will be channel. This will come from our channel field.text. Now let's set up our Twitch client. So we'll do Twitch client equals new TCP client, and for the URL we're going to pass in this one here. I have it copied so I don't mess it up, just for ease of use. But it's irc.chat.twitch.tv, and then the port that we're going to pass in is 6667. Now we need to set up our reader and writer as well, so let's do reader equals new stream reader, and we'll pass in our Twitch client dot get stream. And then again, I'm going to do a quick copy here and make sure you replace the necessary parts, so it'll be writer equals new stream writer in this case, and you can keep the Twitch client.getStream there. So our client and reader and writer are set up now. Now let's use our writer to send our credentials from our input fields to Twitch to log in. So to do that, we can do writer.writeLine, and you have to format this pretty much exactly, or not pretty much, you have to format this exactly the way I'm going to show you. So it'll be pass, all in capitals, and then space, and then add on the password. Next thing we're going to send is our username. We're actually going to send it twice in 2 different formats, and I'll show you how to do both in a second. But the first one will be writer.writeLine again, and this time it'll be Nick, guessing as in nickname, with the space, and then pass in the username. And then we're going to do another username, write line here, but it'll be formatted a little bit differently. This time it'll be user space plus the username that we had plus space 8 space star space colon no space this time, and then the username again. And then one final line will be the channel that we want to connect to, so writer.writeLine again, and this time do join, and then hashtag, no space needed after the hashtag, and then add the channel. So this should be sending all of the credentials that we put into our input fields properly. The way I have it set up right now is that you will for sure have to have information in those input fields to send to Twitch, but you could always have a check here saying if any of these are empty, don't send anything because it won't work. And then since we're done our writing, we'll just flush our writer as well. So it'll just be writer.flush. So we should be able to connect to our chat now. Now we need to actually read the chat. So I'll set up another method here. This one can be private this time because we'll be just using it in the update method, and let's call it read chat. So the first thing we'll do is we'll check if our Twitch client is available. So to do that, we'll do if Twitch client is available is greater than 0, and then we'll get our message from Twitch, from the Twitch chat, and we'll just call it message equals reader dot read line. So now that we're reading from Twitch, we also need to make sure that we stay connected. So every 5 minutes, I think it is, Twitch sends a message saying ping. And in order for our client to stay connected, we need to send a message back saying pong. I'm guessing it's set up so that people aren't just sitting connected when they're not actually doing anything. So to do that, we'll check if the message contains ping. I guess this would trigger for any chat message that has ping in it too. I don't think it would cause any issues. And then if the message does have ping, we need to send something back. So we'll do writer.writeLine, and you need to format this exactly the way I'm doing it. It'll be pong and then colon emi.twitch.tv, and then you have to add in a couple new line characters as well. So we'll do /r/n. Again, now that we're done writing a message, we'll make sure to flush our writer and then just return. Since it's not an actual chat message, we won't need to do anything else with it. Now that we've checked for pings, let's add our message to our text object that we set up. To do that, we'll just do chat text dot text, and then we'll do plus equals our message, and then we'll add a new line character at the end of it so that each message is on its own line. And alright, that looks good. Let's add our read chat to the update method so that it's always checking for new messages. And one final thing I'm going to do here in the read chat is check if our Twitch client actually exists too, since we'll be checking it every frame. If we haven't connected yet, this would be causing some errors, so we'll just make sure that Twitch client is not equal to null and that it's available. Like that. Save, and let's go back into Unity. I'm going to add my Twitch chat to the canvas here just because that's where all my UI is. And let's make sure we put in the proper fields here, so username field, password field, channel field, our title text, and chat text. Now there's one last step we have to do before we actually try to log in. Well, actually 2 steps, I guess. I'm going to delete this text first so it's not showing up. But the main thing I was going to talk about was you have to get your OAuth token, and to do that you can go to this website here. I'll have a link down below again. And it's just basically going to generate an OAuth token that you can use instead of your actual Twitch password to log in and access the chat. Just a little bit more extra security, so you're not just sending your actual password through. So I'll just do connect here, and then it'll show you your OAuth password, I guess, because I'm already logged into Twitch. I didn't have to log in again in this browser. I won't be showing you what this OAuth token is, but you can just copy it and then have it stored somewhere. Just keep that open for when you're ready to log in. Alright, so let's pass in my username, which is Gav4, pass in the OAuth token, and then for the channel, since I'm not streaming right now, I see that Northern Lion is getting recommended to me, so let's put his in, and let's connect. You can see we get a few messages here saying we're connected, and then you can start to see the chat messages coming in, but they're in a weird format, so we'll get to that in a second. But you can see on the side here that they keep getting added to, and his chat is pretty busy, so you can see a lot of them getting added. But really, we only want to see the chat. We don't really need to see any of these extra messages saying we're connected or any of the extra formatting things that Twitch sends. One trick too I'll mention before we get into that is when you're putting in the username and the channel name, even though my username is formatted as Gav4 and Northern Lions is formatted as Northern Lion with a capital N, with capitals sometimes it doesn't really connect. So you can see that this time we're not getting any Twitch messages, which means it didn't connect properly. So if this happens, just try all lowercase and it will work more frequently. Alright, I'm back in the script now and I'm going to show you how we're going to trim the messages so that it doesn't show all that extra stuff that we don't need. So I'm going to get rid of this chat text.txt, we'll add that back in again later. But the first thing I'm going to do is check if the message is an actual chat message. We'll do message.contains, and all chat messages will have priv message. Now that we know it's a private message, we can trim off the rest of the unnecessary information that comes with it. So I'm just going to paste an example of what the message that Twitch send looks like unfiltered. So this is what it is. It has the username, after a colon, then an exclamation, username again, at username again, this time with .tmi.twitch.tv. That's a private message, what channel it's going to, and then the actual message that we want to have. So we need to trim off a couple of the instances of the username. This twitch.tv stuff here, we don't need the private message or the channel, we just really want a username and a message. I'll just keep this here as a comment so I can refer back to it when I'm explaining why we're splitting at certain points. But the first thing we want to do is find the point where we want to split the message for the first time so that we can get this username here just on its own. And since it's the exclamation mark where it splits, we'll just use that to find it. So we'll make a new int here and call it split point, and we'll do message dot index of, and we'll look for the exclamation mark. Then using this, we'll be able to figure out what the username of the author is. So we'll make a new string here and call it author, and we'll use our split point by doing message dot substring, and then we'll do from the start, so 0, and we'll use our split point to where it should go to. And then since this message starts with a colon, we can trim that off too just by doing author equals author.substring, and we can just pass in a 1 so that it starts from the second character, which will be. So that'll get our author. Now we need to get the message too. And to do that, we can use the colon here, not this colon, we'll want to get this one. So to do that, we can set our split point again. We can just use the same one. And we can do message.index of, and we'll do colon. And we want to specify that we're starting from the first character so that it doesn't use, or actually I guess technically the second character. So it doesn't use this colon, doesn't find that one, and it'll just find this one instead, which is right where we want to get our chat message. And now we can use that to trim the message again and get our actual message. So I'll make another new string here, let's call it chat, and it will be equal to message dot substring, and this time we just have to specify our starting point, which will be split point plus 1. Now we can format this to put it into our text object, and to do that we'll just do the same chat text as before, chat text.text, and we'll do plus equals our author, then we'll add in our own semicolon here with a space, then their chat, and then a new line character, so again it's on a new line. So put in your username in lowercase, put in your OAuth token, put in the channel you want to connect to in lowercase again, and let's hit connect. And we can see that now we just get the username of the person that sent the message, and then the actual message that they sent. So people are wondering what Norline is doing today. It looks like he's playing Nintendo Switch Sports, and there's a bunch of lulls, so he must have done something funny. So that's the basics of how to connect to Twitch chat in Unity. There's a lot you can do with this. As you can see, since we're getting the messages here, you could use those messages as commands. So you could check if there's an exclamation mark in the actual message they're sending, and then use that as a command and set up all kinds of different things in Unity. I'm not going to show you how to do that today, but if you would like to see how to do that, let me know in the comments, and maybe I will make something on that. But for this one, I just wanted to basically show you how you can connect, access Twitch chat, and trim strings so you're not getting all these extra information that Twitch sends with it. But if this did help you out, make sure you leave a like and maybe subscribe. If you have any questions or something's going wrong for you, let me know in the comments and I'll try to help. And of course, if there is any other tutorials, even not related to this one, let me know in the comments as well. But that'll do it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.